Hey, what's going on YouTube? Big D here, and it's time to review Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 13, titled One of Us. This is a spoiler review. If you've not seen the episode, go to abc.com/Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Watch the full episode there, and come back, because this episode is really different from what I've seen out of Season 2, and let's get right to it. It should take me less than 2 minutes to recap the episode, pros and cons, and final score. By the way, we're less than already a month away from Daredevil, so we'll be reviewing that each episode, so watch Daredevil when it comes out, and yeah, pretty much. So, yeah. Alright, so first off, Cal recruits Carla, which this girl came out in Sons of Anarchy. She played Jax's wife. I already forgot her name because all she did was play the same thing over and over. Cry, 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 whine, cry, cry, and the same freaking thing every time. So yeah, I like Sons of Anarchy. I reviewed the final season, check it out. I've seen all of them. So Cal recruits Carla, and Hunter is locked in the bathroom, basically, of course, from last week when Mike knocked him out and basically put him in the bathroom. Melinda visits Andrew, which is her ex-husband. So Melinda was married, and Andrew's a pretty cool guy, you know, but I don't see the chemistry between them. I guess I see why they kind of divorced. Cal is at the asylum, and he goes and gets David Angar. So basically, Andrew is Sky's shrink, and David literally... See, Cal's putting a super villain type of team up. Now, they don't really have superpowers, but this David guy, he screams, and it's kind of like I Am Legend, where like really weird, man. And I don't see how that's human at all, but he was tested on, and David screams, and like at this high school, the Outlaws or something, and basically he screams, and I don't know whether the students died or they're knocked out. I can't tell, because it didn't look like Coulson gave a shit when he arrived. So I'm assuming they're knocked out then, but he screamed, and birds even fell. So Coulson is from Wisconsin, so I should point that out. So they arrive, and he's on the field, and May is with Sky with a gun, and Cal and his group are on the field also. And the fight goes down. You know, Coulson literally tackles that computer nerd. Gordon basically comes and gets Cal. Like, I mean, literally, Gordon's the guy with the no eyes and everything. He pops in a portal, grabs Cal, goes back in his disappeared portal. So Sky ends up fainting. By the way, Coulson hit the guy really hard. He hits this guy with his briefcase, smacks him, and almost like brutally injures him. I'm sorry, Mac, not Mike, taking Hunter. Mac is working for the real S.H.I.E.L.D., I guess, quotation, real S.H.I.E.L.D. So that's kind of weird. They're going to dive deep into that next week. Gordon has Cal, and basically he says, he didn't reveal who, but, you know, he's like, what's going to happen to me? That's not, you know, that's not up for me to decide. So someone is in charge of Cal's fate, which I guess we'll find out next week. So my pros real quick about this episode really is the action. This action in this episode is really fun, really interesting on how they pursued it, especially Cal and his team. Cal's team, not all of them are really effective. I mean, let's be honest, they're not really a force to be reckoned with. I definitely love when he's like, together we're a force, but they're really not that great of a team. I mean, they really suck. I'm not saying the actors or anything, but I'm just saying, and realistically, if this was real, they really do suck. I mean, really, the Avengers could, you know, Iron Man just, boom, you're down, all of you. Simple as that. But, yeah, it's still fun the way they do the action, and I do like the team he made, though. I mean, they're just so different, each one of them. Even though the guy who talks up, he can't because you'll like faint or die or something. That's really crazy. So the football stadium scene definitely was my favorite out of the whole episode. Cal himself, he knows how to push it. He breaks the mug at the coffee shop. Definitely very intense. And the effects in this episode are by far very well done, very well fun to look at. You know, you look at his mouth opening, and you're like, that's not fake. You know, it's just perfectly well done and rendered. And I like the whole new S.H.I.E.L.D thing on how they're gonna go with this. My only cons really is there was no resolution. Like, all those students, I don't even know if they're dead, but there's no resolution. We didn't see what happened to them. It's kind of like, oh, they're just teenagers. They're dead. Whatever. Move on. You know, Coulson didn't even go check on them or like, oh my gosh, what did you do? Well, he did say what did you do, but he didn't really go check or anything. Nobody even came to go pick them up. And you're saying that they were there all day in the field? You didn't tell me that no one was like, my son hasn't arrived home? Or I guess it was a college. Was it a university or was it a high school? Because it was a high school, parents would be like, where's my son? It was late that day. I mean, what the hell? Also, it's slow. This episode is slow, and I don't love the ending. Like, I don't like the ending one bit, how Cal and... Like, they could have ended it better. Just in a way. Like, they could have revealed who it was instead of just ending it like that. But, overall, I'm just going to give it a solid B. It's an okay episode, slightly on the verge of good. The action overall, the effects, and the team that he made were very interesting and very fun, but overall still, the realism of how they didn't even check on the kids, I was kind of like, no, not going to work for me. The ending, a little bit slow, a little bit stale in my for my taste buds, but overall, still a okay episode, and definitely worth checking out just for Cal's team and yelling. So overall, solid B, guys. Spocky with you. Always tell me your favorite parts about this week's S.H.I.E.L.D. and what is the real S.H.I.E.L.D. Don't know. Don't care. I do care, actually. I really thought Fury would come out at the end, but why would he be working against Coulson? Don't know.